Have you ever played a game that is a 3D platform exploration game that almost plays itself because it is so focused on being accessible to everyone and lowering the skill level so that you can just enjoy the world around you without having to think too much about the skill required to traverse, jump, climb, slide, throw rope, swing, balance, whatever it is that you're doing? Well, welcome to Submerged Hidden Depths, the sequel to the original Submerged that came out a few years ago, where you follow the role of Miku and Taku, who are left in this submerged world that's like a mini biome of planet Earth that has been absolutely ravaged by some kind of apocalyptic event. The game is split into two very distinct portions of gameplay. The first is gorgeous boating, going around and exploring this sunken world, going into different nooks and crannies, exploring what wildlife is swimming around in the seas, and trying to work out how you can make the world slightly more livable by bringing life back to it again, because there's like a gungy dark vine creature plant thing that is taking over and ripping all of the life and sucking all of the goodness out of the earth. Now, the boating is where you can go freeform and just explore the world at your own pace through an absolutely gorgeous 24-hour night-day cycle. Weather effects, there's storms, there's rain, there's haze. You can sit there and just watch the day go by and still have a really good time. It's one of those worlds that feels like it's constantly moving and you're living in it. Also, because the animals that inhabit the sea have their own day and night cycle as well. So you can go to specific parts of the day, of the area, and kind of watch the animals go about their daily business. And they will do it on clockwork, which is absolutely fascinating. The second part of it, though, sees you playing as the two characters exploring all the different ruins in Submerged Hidden Depths. And this is where the game goes out of its way to be as accessible as possible. You can't jump unless you're told to do so. You can't climb anything unless you press the button when you're told to do so. You can't fall. You can't there's no combat to speak of. You can't kind of kill yourself, and you can't get stuck in an unwinnable situation. It is very linear to the point where there is absolutely no fluff whatsoever in this game, which I really appreciate from I've only got 6 or 7 hours to spare for this game, but it's all going to be worth it. However, it does mean that everything is really, really tightly telegraphed. And once you understand how a level is built out and the visual clues of where you go to next, you're just looking for that next visual clue or cue to progress your journey around all of these different environments, all of which look beautiful. The sound is beautiful, and the different camera angles and vistas go out of its way to make everything look super dramatic. But it is so non-dependent on any skill whatsoever that it does beg the question, are you playing the game or is the game playing you? Now, from my personal perspective, I absolutely loved my time with Submerged Hidden Depths. I do think I'm probably going to be in the minority, though, because I think some people would prefer to have some kind of Tomb Raider-ish like level of skill required to maybe line up some jumps and not just have the character automatically leap over if it's close. The same as when you're going across balance beams, having some kind of I need to teeter the analog stick to stay on the plank sometimes would have been nice. But again, that all brings itself into having some kind of skill dependency to be able to complete the game. And that's not what Submerged Hidden Depths has to or wants to offer at all. Instead, it bills itself, and I'm going to steal the actual word from their PR stuff here, relaxploration adventure. And it's a perfect explanation, actually, of how Submerged Hidden Depths works, because at no point are you in danger. Everything is beautiful and enticing, and you're constantly moving forward as you go around all of these different ruins. And it is a bit of a collectathon as well, because there's lots of like books that you can collect that give you lore, that tells the story in an ancient language of what's now been lost for Miku and Taku. There's animals to pick up, there's different costumes or boat customization options to pick up as you go along, and they're all dotted around either inside the different ruins so that you can try and map them out using your binoculars to stand at different vantage points wherever you want and scanning around and picking up these things. And then you can telegraph your way either to traverse there platform wise or to boat there and actually like go fishing and pick the stuff out of the sea. It's all cutscenes when you get there to do it, but the exploration of going out and finding things is really the big key there. There are little tiny mini puzzles that allow you occasionally to have to think a little bit, but it's very much push a lever, go through an area, push another lever, pick up a boulder, drop it down a chute, then go and find where it's gone to. You'll never really get truly stuck. And if you do get stuck, it's normally around trying to get that 100% completion on getting absolutely everything in this game picked up, which I was quite happy to do for the next hour and a bit after my completion of the game itself, because I was so invested and just loved my time being in this world. For me, both Submerged Hidden Depths and its previous game, just Submerged, are both really good examples of how to not fill a game with too much additional faff and fluff and just go for a real basic, streamlined, succinct adventure that sells all of its narrative points really well, whilst also providing some kind of interesting spectacle. I don't expect these games to be revered in decades' time as being absolutely all-encompassing, dramatic, top tier games. But I will champion these games because there's often a bit of a debate on should you be making games so accessible, blah, 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 blah. I do think having the different options there would be the ultimate solution to this, so that if people want the challenge, they've got it. But being able to then just master your way through it by pushing some analog sticks and pressing some buttons as and when required is also a totally viable solution to get you from beginning to an end of an incredible world setting that's beautiful and enchanting in its own dilapidated way. Written review will be over on higherplanegames.com. If you enjoy other games that do this kind of thing and make the game super accessible, please drop a note down in the comments as well to help other gamers find these types of games too. Take care. Higher Plane Games is part of the Higher Plane Network, a completely independent media outlet supported by people like you. The goal is to create the best possible content that cultivates a richer indie scene for games as well as music and entertainment. To find out more and to get involved, visit patreon.com/higherplane-network. Your support makes all the difference, and in return you'll gain access to bonus content and downloads. Thank you for watching.